Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
That kid is back on the escalator again.
Ain't gonna hurt.
Is my boomstick!
Game over, man. It's game over.
Welcome to the Bargain Bin. He is your host, Ben Mason.
And he is your co-host, Sandra Luketic. And today, we have finally breached one of Sandro's barriers and are talking 1996's Biodome. There are no spoilers. This movie's just fucked up. But I do want to say, this episode, we needed to have someone we love with us, someone who could enjoy the majesty of Biodome. So please help us welcome back Mark Puls as we talk this Pauly Shore classic. Mark, welcome.
Squirrely.
Stubby.
Doily, buddy.
Sandra, I don't hear you at all. What's up, man?
I'm just crying on the inside a little bit here.
I can't believe we're finally doing it. It makes me so happy. I'm so sorry, Sandro.
Yeah, what pictures do you have? A little blackmail? What's going on there?
Yeah, definitely.
Did I hurt you?
I never.
Did I insult you?
I never thought we'd actually be covering it, but we are fucking doing it, and we've got Mark here, so everything is right in this world. I say that. I am lying blatantly.
All right, well, let's give Mark a chance to introduce himself and let people know, if they're not aware, who he is already.
Hey, I'm Mark. I have a small podcast. Not as big as these two gentlemen. These are the Biodome 2 of podcasting right here that I'm with. So nice to see you. I think the last time, Sandro, you said I was on episode 69, bro.
Yeah, I think that was also an episode that I wasn't on, which I wish was the case today.
Oh, Society?
Yeah.
Oh, anatomically correct.
Ben.
Yeah, buddy.
What's your history with this movie, dude?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I rented this movie from the video store, which turned into my first job ever. I rented it so much that they just gave me the VHS. Here, just fucking take it. I don't know if it was more of a get it out of the store. It was just, here you go.
No one else is renting this.
No. Is there a Biodome section where you work now?
No, but I did at the last video store I worked at years and years ago. I created a section called Nature Run Amok, and this was in there.
Beautiful. We're the Biodome 5.
There's so many fun things about this movie to talk about. Like, I think the cast is absolutely amazing. But we've talked Pauly Shore on here a couple of times. Never Stephen Baldwin, I don't think. But I love the fact that you're on this show, Mark, because as a resident of Arizona, I'm sure you are familiar with Biosphere 2.
Yes, sir. It is about 90 minutes away or so from my house.
That's crazy. I've always wanted to go.
Yeah. Well, if you ever come down to the States, you're welcome to hang, and we will go over there.
Yeah. Well, it has. There's a few issues I have to work out. You know, getting a new passport and trying not to get blocked from entry to the States again.
Oh, are you a felon?
Apparently, yeah. I know. I got banned for 5 to 7 years. But I would absolutely love to go. That is a destination, a lifetime destination for me. So
have you seen the Netflix documentary on it?
I haven't. I really want to. I got really excited.
I sent you the link on Facebook, so definitely check it out.
I will for sure. It looks not as much of a disaster as this, but looks like
it actually turned out to be as much of a disaster. I'd be surprised. It's a weird, different kind of comedy.
Yeah. Well, I ended up going to the Biodome in Montreal, which is nothing like this. It's just enclosed ecosystems. No one's living there. It's not a massive science project for like a year long. Like, people live and maintain the globe, really. But it was fun to walk through different ecosystems, see different wildlife and everything. But But no, this movie, like I love Pauly Shore. I actually really love Stephen Baldwin. I think he's great, except for his weird born again Christian phase. And like, I mean, his daughter married Bieber, so he's doing well.
Isn't he still born again? It's not really a phase. It's like his thing now, isn't it?
It will be a phase. He'll snap out of it.
Okay, I hope.
But Sandro,
Yes, sir.
Your history with this film.
I watched it once when I was younger, roughly around the time it came out. And even then, I was like, this movie is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you were right. It is very stupid.
I like Pauly Shore. I was excited to cover even the movies we did cover with him. When I see him in something, I still get kind of excited, even though he has what some people would consider maybe an annoying comedic styling. But it's just no saving this movie.
Well, you don't need to save a movie that doesn't need to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
Mark?
Only Stephen Baldwin was saved. Well, I went to college between 1992 and 1997. I went to a college where it had a ratio of 8 guys to every girl. So in 1996, what do you think 8 guys to every girl were doing? Probably watching movies like this. So all these movies, all the Adam Sandler movies, all those, that whole genre, I was all up in that.
You must have thought Van Wilder was like Oscar worthy.
Van Wilder was very good. Ryan Reynolds is my man crush. You do not talk poorly about Ryan Reynolds.
Well, you haven't seen Accident Man. You're going to trade up for Scott Adkins.
Ooh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Are his eyes less tight together than Ryan Reynolds? It's the only criticism I have.
Yes.
Okay.
All the charisma, all of the comedy, much more martial arts.
None of the Alanis Morissette trauma.
Yeah.
Perfect. I like it.
I think this is one of the first movies the three of us have talked about where we all have some previous history with. Obviously, mine's a little bit more positive than yours, but I really want to get into it. Unfortunately, I'm sure we have to play Sandro's game, which I am more than likely going to fail.
This might be the only enjoyable part of this movie, is letting you squirm on this game. So, yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to at least give me how many actors in this we've
6.
covered before? Whoa! Okay. So, obviously, Pauly Shore.
Correct.
Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
Do
In the Army Now
too? Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you did In the Army Now.
In the Army Now.
Now you're getting help now.
No, I just remember. Oh, is it 6 movies that you've covered with Pauly Shore?
No, that's six performers in this film we've covered on
That's
the
what I
show
thought.
before.
Okay.
Mark's clearly a listener.
It's only those.
I'm clearly not. I don't even listen to my own stuff, man. And I'm a narcissist.
Is it only those 2 for Pauly?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we've touched Steven before.
Correct.
William Atherton is a chameleon of a human being, so we probably have.
Nope.
Okay, good. Joey Adams, I want to say no.
Nope.
Teresa Hill in a bit part of something, maybe.
Nope.
Rose McGowan in our last Scream episode.
Well, we did do Rose McGowan, but obviously not in our Lost Scream episode.
What else did we do Rose in? Oh, Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
And more?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Phantoms.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't think we've covered Kylie in anything. Oh, God. Henry Gibson?
Yep.
Oh, shit. That's a tough one. I don't know.
He was Dr. Klopek in The Burbs.
Oh, The Burbs! The neighbor. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, The Burbs.
That was funny. Shit. Taylor Negron?
Nope. I don't really feel inclined to help you today.
I honestly don't know who else.
All right. Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, of course. Mark, I'm so sorry. Airborne.
And?
Mark, I'm so sorry. Airborne.
Bro.
I still know what you did last summer.
Oh, that's right. His dreads.
Kevin West.
No shit. We covered Kevin West and something else?
Small role, but I wasn't very generous on cameos with you today.
Okay. No clue.
He controlled the de-evolution chamber in Super Mario Brothers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, I had no idea about that. That's crazy. I definitely want to go back and check that out.
Adam Wiseman.
Adam Wiseman.
Wiseman? I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
Who did he play in this?
I don't know. I didn't look that up. I never looked that up. You can't ask me that question. I looked up who they played in other movies, but not in this one.
I have no idea who that actor is. Okay.
Well, he was the Halloween skeleton in Hatchet.
Okay. Yes, I do know. This was early on in his career, though, so that's not fair.
No, that's the game, man. Deal with it.
No, I gotcha.
I think it's time for starting the movie proper and me just kind of checking out. So go ahead, guys. I'll
Classic.
be here, I guess.
So the opening credits, basically for me, immediate nostalgia of watching this movie in the 90s. It's extremely 90s, makes absolutely no sense, but somehow reminds me of movies like Empire Records. And I think that's just the fun pastiche of what we're getting here. Mark, I think you might get that a bit more than Sandro because you're more of a media guy than he is. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Empire Records meets like the Sega commercial.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like literally what you get. It's just like explodes in your face. And all of it. It's just bold colors, all the font and all the just different pictures come by it.
I've read reviews of the movie and people are like, this is the most annoying film introduction ever visually. The music is good, so apparently a lot of people just don't look at the screen and listen to what's happening.
This movie's got a pretty decent soundtrack.
It really does. A soundtrack which I have owned on, I bought the digital download. I've had it on CD. I had it on cassette, which sadly was sold along with a car because the tape fell under a seat and I didn't know.
That's a sin right there.
It is.
It's like losing a good pair of sunglasses.
So much stuff about this movie. I've got a poster. I've got promotional pins. The DVD, of course, the VHS. The one thing I don't have is the Blu-ray because that's like ridiculously for this movie. It's ridiculously expensive. It was like $40 Canadian.
Wow.
But we start off with environmental disaster videos hyping up the new biodome project in the Arizona desert. So we get our intro to Dr. Noah Faulkner, played by William Atherton, who is amazing. And I honestly laughed my ass off a couple of times when we see the promo video where he's like, quote, interviewing the other potential scientists.
It's like extra cheese.
Either flirting or being a straight up dick. It's great. And I immediately think at this point, this is going to be one of Sandro's favorite characters. So cut to Bud and Doyle, played by Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin, playing rock, paper, scissors.
Can we not cut to them?
Wait a minute. Weren't they playing rock, and then paper after?
Basically, yes.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Which comes up as a joke later on, which I did not reference in my notes, but anybody who knows, knows.
Right.
Immediate thoughts on these two.
Ouch.
Really?
Come on, man. You know what you're getting. No, you just know what you're in for, but it's gonna hurt. Something's gonna hurt.
I love them so much. I really do. Sandra, let's hear this hate that's coming my way.
No.
What about them do you hate so much? Is it the stupidity? Is it the poor writing? Is it just how nonsensical parts of this movie is? Tell me.
Parts.
That's
generous. Yes, all of the above.
Okay. Is this your least favorite Pauly Shore film?
I think it might be the only Pauly Shore movie I've seen that I don't like.
So how many Pauly Shore movies have you seen? 3?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. What's the point of the game?
What do you mean?
Of this rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, they want to figure out which one of them is going to get hit in the face to trick their girlfriends to get out of going to an environmental thing, which
But the question is, were they going to get hit with the internet? No, they're going to get hit with an actual encyclopedia. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. There was paper that was bound together in sequential numbers and alphabetical in many cases by a hardbound cover that you opened and referenced to get information.
And it was leather too.
I know, it's gorgeous. That globe stitched into it, embossed with the gold. Oh,
Beautiful embossing job.
beautiful. Oh,
So the girlfriends, Monique, played by Joey Adams, and Jen,
Momo.
Teresa Hill. Yes, Momo. Can't really get away with that anymore. Arrive for the Earth Day event at the park. And a great excuse here that Doyle was trying to free the Mahi Mahi from the wall and fell, which is a foolproof plan. I have to say, guys, the plot of this movie, I agree with you, is absolutely ridiculously stupid. It's some of the quotes that make it for me, because they go very dark, and they don't fit in the movie, but they make me laugh a lot. Like Doyle, half out of it, is just murmuring like, "Please let me out, mommy," or at least slide another pancake under the door.
do you think that's improv, or do you think those were written?
I think a lot of this movie was improv.
I do too, because I feel like there are a lot of giggle fests that they're trying to keep from laughing in a lot of cuts.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You can see Pauly like crack on screen repeatedly. I think Stephen Baldwin is the star of this movie. But like Pauly's got lines too that I don't think were written for the movie. Like Joey Adams says, "I smell a scam." And he's like, "No, that's just oil. He has a quivery colon."
Quivery colon, yeah. Love it. Look at him quivering look at his hand shaking like that.
Jen notices the globe imprint from the encyclopedia on Doyle's head, and everything falls apart for the guys. It's the lines are amazing. Like I said, the movie itself, not great. The lines, hilarious. Monique being like, "This is Hands Across America all over again." And Bud's excuse is, "I had arthritis." and there's other examples too. Like they're just constantly trying to get out of things. There was one situation where Doyle just has to go, "I had fleas," and we're fine.
Why are these two women even dating these two guys?
It's Tucson, man.
Their hearts are kind.
The options are low.
Yeah, it is Tucson. You guys have not been there. Tucson is, ooh.
Yeah. Next up, we get the toenail biting scene, which is really cringy for me, but Stephen Baldwin's getting right in there.
I can't. The toenail
it's so gross.
I mean, it's like he almost took off the tip.
Yep. What do you think about the girls playing a prank on the guys, saying that they met dudes from Arizona Tech and they're taking them to a kegger at Vasquez Lake? Oh, and they're also on the swim team.
I forbid you to be with those breaststrokers.
Grape smugglers. The look on Doyle's face is fantastic, and that's why I think he's one of the best actors in this movie. If okay, maybe not in the movie, but he's definitely doing a lot more in this than Pauly Shore is. Can we agree on that?
Yes. Pauly I felt like Pauly mailed it in a little bit. Just was himself. Like
Pauly is more active, but he's not doing anything of substance.
Yeah, and he even goes as far as do the callback to the Weasel character, which I thought was owned by Disney, but apparently not, because he was still doing it on MTV before he signed the Disney film contract. So the guys head out to stop the girls, and we get a quick shot of Doyle lighting a firecracker or throwing out the window, and it blows up a rabbit. Is that a rabbit? I don't know.
I think it was. Maybe. We have them out here, I think. It wasn't a javelina. I know that. Javelina are like nasty big things.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's like a pig with really thick skin.
Oh.
They're like blind. They just run at you. They just like bump into you all the time.
Gross, dude.
Yeah, they're nasty.
We get a response to a line here that I think sums up this movie for a lot of people and how stupid it can be.
Okay.
And that is, Bud saying, "Hey, check out that mall, man." And Doyle's response is biodome. You think that means it goes both ways? And Bud just says, "I don't know, but we do."
Very 96.
It is very 96. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, because like nowadays you're like, what are you telling us? It's like normal. It's like whatever. All right.
Why would you think that's a mall? It looks nothing like a mall.
I don't know.
They hit themselves in the head to get out of Earth Day.
Yeah. So they arrive at the, quote, lake and realize they've been duped. And then we get the flashback of Doyle's mother drowning Bud.
This might be the most intelligent thing they've done in the movie. I didn't even know they were going to realize they were had.
I almost had her as my favorite character in this.
Oh, really?
Because she was drowning Bud.
Sake. I knew Sandra would get a kick out of that one.
Yeah. Do you know who she is?
She looked familiar, but I don't know.
It's Patty Hearst.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like the Patty Hearst.
Yeah. Granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst. Abducted by the Symbionese Liberation Army. And
yeah. Wow.
Held in custody. Was convinced
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful casting.
It's crazy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, exactly. She was sentenced to 35 years in prison.
Oh, that's
was the sentence commuted by Jimmy Carter and then pardoned by Clinton. Like this is a weird casting choice, guys.
That is interesting. Is there a making of this movie? Not that we could ever get through that, but is there a making of that would explain how they did that?
I would love to watch a feature-length making of Biodome documentary.
What else did she do? Did she ever do anything once she got out besides Biodome?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But I always found this casting strange.
That's amazing.
We also get our first appearance of the Tribal, their weird little mini dance, celebration dance they do. And yeah, Sandro, Doyle has to take a piss, so they decide to stop at that new mall.
Just piss on the side of the road.
I never got that myself. I never did.
Never did either.
He even says, I forgot to go when we were at the lake. So how's that any different from just stopping?
It's not. It's not at all.
I'm wondering, Sandro, you are the king of this, right? The rewrite? How do you get him in the Biodome?
I don't make this movie, and I don't remake it.
Come on, man. Help us out here.
No, not at all.
I let Patty Hearst drown them.
I'm glad you brought this up because this is a point where, yeah, these characters are dumb, but here they are unrealistically oblivious to everything going on around them.
Right. You literally have to not even be a chimp.
Yeah. Simeon. Dick. Sneaking past a news event to get inside to find a washroom, you should have an idea that something is going on. But here we meet the Biodome 5, introduced by Dr. William Leakey, played by Henry Gibson, who is financing everything. So, guys, we get Dr. Noah Faulkner, played by William Atherton. Olivia Biggs, Denise Dowse, who is the geologist. T.C. Romulus, Kevin West, who is the entomologist. Petra von Kant, who is Kylie Minogue, who's the oceanographer. And Mimi Simpkins, who I lost in my cast list here. Dara Tomanovich, she is the agriculturalist. This is my introduction to Kylie Minogue. I had a major crush on Kylie Minogue after this movie. Then discovering her movie career, or her film or music career, sorry, was kind of shocking. Mark, I assume you knew who she was before you watched this movie.
I can't get her out of my head. Yeah, I do know. The Locomotion.
Yes, the Locomotion. Thank you.
On a similar route, if you play the Locomotion slower, it sounds like Rick Astley singing it. There's like a whole YouTube thing.
I will never do that.
It's worth it. It's totally worth it.
I feel horrible that you've already told me about it.
You're welcome.
Sandro, did you know any of these people?
No.
Okay. You should look into William Atherton's work. He is an amazing actor. But yes, the distraction, more fireworks. And for some odd reason, Mark, maybe you can tell me about this, constant references to the Kennedy assassination.
Back and to the left.
The grassy knoll. Holy Kennedy.
Holy Kennedy.
So these guys enter the rainforest area, and Doyle pisses in a waterfall, and this drops the homeostasis to 99.1%.
Yeah. Was it at 100? Because it went down 0.9. That is some toxic urine, man.
It is.
But you have to imagine that their diets are not ideal.
Well, I think he just drank a bladder buster.
It's true.
Homeostasis is a constant reference point for us throughout the film, letting us know how much these idiots are fucking up the environment. It does work for me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I love that there's something to like ground us to what's actually going on, because there's really not much else in this movie. I feel like the movie was made to watch while you're stoned, so there's a necessary bit of hand-holding. Am I the only one to get this?
Well, I definitely got the impression you had to be on something to watch this movie.
Do you find it weird then saying that no one does any drugs in the movie?
No, you don't need to do drugs to make a movie for druggies.
They did nitrous oxide.
I guess, yeah, but there's a fair amount of weed talk without any actual smoking of weed.
That is true. I mean, they do pitch like
Purple Sticky Punch.
Yeah.
And yeah. I wonder if they were maybe the movie executives of the 90s had like an anti-drug thing. They just didn't want to show it.
Could very well be. I don't know. Like, I have a lot of questions about the production of this. Maybe I'll have to reach out to Pauly and Steven and see if either are willing to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get the reveal of the two of them being locked into the biodome for the year. And William Leakey just uses the idea of chaos theory in nature to be part of the experiment.
This is some of the stupidest writing in the movie.
It really is.
Like, you're telling me you need a year's worth of data. Okay, if you open the door now, you're behind by like an hour.
Agreed. It is a problem.
You can still do a whole year.
But they can't actually open the door is the thing.
The way that they have, is it Faulkner talking about it? They can. He just refuses to.
Yeah. But even when they find out that at the end that Faulkner has gone crazy and is trying to blow the place up, all they try and do is break the door down and can't. So it kind of goes against that. It's convenient writing.
It might be one of those things where he's the head of it, so he has like the access code to open it, but they don't. Right?
That's, yeah. You think there'd be a failsafe on that one?
If you're going to be living there for a year, you could honestly at that point just be like, all right, let's just go home and start again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll be done one day later than we planned.
What do you two think about Leakey?
I mean, he's an all right character.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have much more screen time, or at least much more sway, since he's the one financing the whole thing. Gibson is such a great actor. I mean, look at Blues Brothers, man.
Yeah.
You think they would have given him more to work with. And he seems really weak. Like a lot of his good scenes were cut or something.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to make him enamored with the guys so they could monetize it later, but I don't know how. Yeah, it was kind of hard to see how they were folding him in.
I think you drew one too many lines in there. I think he was just enamored with the potential money these guys could bring in.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I think that would have been a great storyline to kind of pump through the rest of the movie. Because if they needed to get Bud and Doyle out of there, they could. But if it was more so Leakey being like, no, this is getting us crazy amounts of press, let's let them do their crazy shit. Also, Biodome 5, keep them in line to the point where they don't destroy my project. I think that would have been a great story. But then maybe it could have been way too much like Wayne's World with like Noah's Arcade and stuff like that. Next up, guys, we get to a pretty problematic scene. And that is where the guys start hitting on Mimi. Do either of you remember some of the lines they try and pull on this woman?
Did it hurt?
Did it hurt? Yep, that's one. There's if you were yogurt.
Would you be swirled or
Would you
fruit
be
at the bottom?
Fruit at the bottom or stirred?
Oh, stirred. That's what it was.
And are you tired?
Yes. Because you've been running through my mind already.
1996, I'm laughing. Honestly, 1997? Like, oh.
Yeah, you know how movies don't translate? This is part of it.
Yeah. And we're not like coming up on like the 30th anniversary being like, this doesn't fly today. This is like a year later. Everyone's like, that's.
Yeah, it's like yesterday's
pretty
dad
bad.
joke. Yeah, it's like tomorrow's dad joke was today's Pauly Shore joke.
And Sandra, you were saying that Faulkner decided that they have to stay.
They have resources for 5 people for a year. You'd rather not wait one more day than now try to divvy up those resources by 7 people. Like, this is the stupidest smart person ever.
Yeah. Well, we know he's crazy at this point. To what extent, we don't fully understand. But he there's something wrong with him.
Oh, yeah, because he's so good with the eyes, right? He's such a good, like, heel character.
What do you guys think about the Iron Man bit?
Well, it was funny, but, man, if you didn't get it, it really took the air out of the entire scene.
It was one of the key clips for the trailer, I'm sure. Sandra, did you find any humor in this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Did you laugh?
Oh, I don't think I laughed during this movie.
Okay. Well, that's Spider-Man. Black Sabbath did Iron Man.
I think maybe if there was any laughter, it would have been that kind of like hysterical, I'm losing my mind type of laughter.
Oh, the Faulkner laughter.
But I don't remember it because I think my brain is just trying to traumatically alleviate all memories of this movie.
Well, Bud and Doyle are given a storage room to sleep in. But don't worry, the humor's coming because now it's time to molest the girls.
This is very uncomfortable.
It
most
really
of this
is.
movie is just bad. This is just uncomfortable.
It's so problematic. And the whole time, I'm pretty sure it's I Want Candy. This is the song that's playing.
And when Pauly Shore gets in the bed specifically, the way he like reaches down, I'm like, yeah, he's just pulling it out.
Yep.
This is terribly uncomfortable.
But don't worry, they have a celebration the next day because they had a successful first night. I do love Romulus freaking out about his toothbrush.
I'm with them on it though. Like, don't share toothbrushes.
It's like, what? It's sanitized. I dunked it in Olivia's scope. But it's a quote that, Mark, you and I tackled earlier, where TC Romulus has the toothbrush in his hand. He's pointing it at them violently. He's like, Simeon! And Doyle's response is to point and be like, Dick! Looking super stoned. Like, you can't not laugh at that. Yeah, it's stupid, but it's fucking funny.
It was the face that Romulus made when he was pointing the toothbrush too. That like over sneer stare look.
Oh, that matched with
beautiful.
The blank stare from Baldwin. Like, I heard Sandra laugh just now.
I'm laughing at the excitement that you guys are sharing in this,
It's
not
so funny.
the actual scenes that have taken place.
So Faulkner gives them a tour, and the boys decide it's time to smoke. And Noah says, everything you did at home, you're forbidden to do here. And they ask everything, and then we get a flashback to something that it makes no sense. no sense whatsoever.
Like,
but
where
it makes
did anybody
do
do that anywhere?
It makes me so happy.
I'm loving your joy of this. This makes me smile.
Shave Poochie.
And he's wearing the rest of the dog like a beard.
It's just so good.
It's not. It's really not.
Oh, it's funny,
bad.
Sandra. It's funny.
It's bad, but I love that you're enjoying it, and I love it.
Yeah, they kill that humor pretty quickly, though. And there is a line where where Faulkner leaves and Bud decides he's going to continue the tour. With a line that
you
might
forgot.
get me...
Don't move.
I have a wicked itch on my nads.
Faulkner said not to move.
I can't believe I remember that line. I don't have that written down.
Yeah, very well done. I thought that was excellent.
Nobody blame me for saying this, but there's a line that Bud says that really does sum up the 1996 humor. We were told about homeostasis earlier, and Bud's line is, as he continues the tour in a fake tourist accent, and remember, here at Biodome, we're focused on balancing homos within the system. That was meant to make the entire audience laugh. That is a joke that fell flat probably a year later and is dead on arrival now.
Yeah, I don't even know if it would have made it in the theater. How funny that was in the theater. By the time it was out,
probably
that's a very
not.
dated joke.
It really
it's
is.
just a bad joke. It's just a bad joke. Like, not even offensive. It's just bad.
Yeah, it's one of those jokes where, like you just said, it's not funny, it's not offensive. It just shows you how stupid these characters are.
It's really low hanging fruit, right?
And then from that, we're led into their chat with Olivia about trying to get out, and it's a big joke to them. And she tries to explain that the doors are locked for 12 months. We're like, 12 months, 52 weeks, 385 days.
So what you're really saying?
Exactly. And she freaks out, storms off, and we get the return of the mini tribal. And I also don't like the fact that they call their weird celebratory dance the tribal.
I wonder if that came from something previously that he did. I'm curious, but
it has to, right? There's got to be some backstory to it.
It might be from his bit, but I'm not sure. Like that was always his thing, possibly.
It could be.
Possibly. I'm not. I don't quote me on it. I don't mind Pauly Shore. I just wasn't watching him on MTV every day.
Well, I never had the chance, but if it was, he should have dropped it a lot earlier. Sorry,
don't feel
I
at all.
I didn't have access to MTV.
I took my first testosterone shot by myself for the first time in my house today. I feel old, all right? I feel old.
I don't even know where to go with that.
It felt like oversharing.
We get a montage of the boys exploring the ecosystems, and this is the first time I heard "We Care a Lot" by Faith No More, which is one of my favorite songs.
That song, it is one of the most underrated songs, and actually it's funny because the singer isn't the same one who did the Easy or the other song, Epic.
No, I don't think Mike Patton was with the band at this time.
Yeah, We Care a Lot was the previous guy.
Yeah, the original singer, yeah.
And that's why this soundtrack, it's like, I remember that song I had in my rotation. I probably had on a mixtape of some sort.
I bought the soundtrack for this song. This song was not on the soundtrack.
I may have even bought the Faith No More album, We Care a Lot, because of that, because of the song, the first album.
One of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
So Doyle encounters Mimi, and he just kind of slides into the scene. She's like, "Where'd you come from?" And he says, "My mom and the authorities are still trying to figure that out." Again, I will laugh at that. I'm laughing at the lines more than I'm laughing at the story. Sandro, did any of the lines hit you to the point where you laughed, even though you knew that this movie was dumb beyond belief?
No.
Really? So this is just a full-on, dud for you?
I think the only possible chance I might have had to enjoy this movie, especially knowing what it was going into it, is if I had watched it with a friend and could have maybe made some cracks about it.
Makes sense.
But I'm pretty confident I watched this whole movie straight-faced and angry the entire time. And I did only 1.5 viewings for this episode because I just tapped out.
That's fair. I kind of expected that. I knew this was going to be a train wreck when I picked it. I just didn't know it was going to be this bad.
I applaud you for the effort.
I'm surprised I even hit play on the second one.
Your thumb's shaking.
The next scene is the most popular in the film. It's still part of the montage, but it makes me really sad that this is the most popular scene. Can either of you guess the most popular 8 seconds of this movie?
The bungee cord jumping?
Nope. Sandra?
I got nothing, man.
It's Kylie Minogue and the carrot.
Oh.
Talking to Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
That is very depressing to me. It also shows like the audience of the movie and how they rate things. But anyway, moving on. Monique and Russell. What do you guys think about the Russell character? Do you remember who Russell is?
Yeah, he's like Monique's mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he's injured because he, what did he say, like a skateboarding?
He hurt his bladder rollerblading.
Hurt his bladder rollerblading. I think this character was maybe the closest to being funny.
Yeah. His introduction when she's like, Russell, there's empty beer cans in the garbage in the kitchen, empty beer cans in the garbage in the bathroom, empty beer cans in the garbage in the bedroom, whatever. I'm getting that wrong. And she's like, what does that say? And he looks at her and just goes, we're out of beer.
All I have to say is that's Milo from The Last Boy Scout.
Yes, it is. Thank you. I was going to bring that up too.
I loved when I first saw him on the couch. I was like, because I think The Last Boy Scout came out in 93.
Earlier than that, I think.
Okay, so it was before this movie, I think.
Yeah, 91.
Okay, so when I saw him on the couch, I was like, Milo. Once again, full circle to Danica, right? Or the woman the girl that was in Last Boy Scout, right? With
yep,
Holliston.
Yeah. Yes, very, very good throwback.
Well, look at that,
Danielle Harris.
Connection. Yes, Danielle Harris. Thank you.
Yeah, but he was also in the Stoned Age, which I love. Angels in the Outfield. I mean, you go further back in. He was the pizza guy in Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yep, he's great, and he's a pizza guy in this, technically.
Yes, I think he was amazing. He was an amazing actor. 2015, R.I.P. Like this guy really should have been in bigger roles, but the few small ones we've seen him in are memorable. So it just goes to show you how great he was at what he did. So the girls go to visit the guys at the Biodome. And we get that weird window makeout scene, which always made me feel uncomfortable. It's like a public display of affection through bulletproof glass. I don't know. But it's dinner time. Food does not go over well with the guys. And then we get their supermodel bit, which again doesn't really go over well today. But Jesus Christ, do I laugh every time I see it.
He just let go, don't they?
Nobody liked me in high school. They loved you. They thought you were beautiful. I don't know. I mean, growing up at that time, that was funny to me then. It's funny to me now. I understand how offensive it is and how problematic it is. But sometimes you just need to call shit out and you need to laugh about it.
Sometimes you're locked into your time, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This does feel like improv to me, though. Are you guys getting that here?
Totally.
Yeah, that's why the camera stays on them. You don't see the rest of the cast because you're not supposed to see a reaction to this because it's not good.
And I think they actually made the cast staring at them on purpose, like,
oh yeah,
to be like, make sure that's in there to show how like not funny it is.
Do you guys remember what happens that night, though?
Weren't they hungry?
It's them reminiscing about smelling. Well, they're smelling farts and deducing what the other person ate.
This is a terrible scene.
It's horrible.
Like, you think this movie can't sink any lower?
I feel like that's like a Goonies scene.
Wow, you gotta explain that one.
Yeah, because I've never seen the Goonies.
I don't mean in a quality sense. I mean in an age sense. I feel like 13-year-olds should be doing that one. I feel like it was just a little bit, even for them below. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a hair below even them. I don't mean to slight the Goonies by comparing them in any way. My apologies.
No, I felt like it might be something adolescent-wise, but
yeah,
the Goonie kids were smarter than this.
Do Do you find it a weird attempt to bring back the weasel?
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I felt a lot of that in this.
Yeah, because that is the character he's playing through and through. But he's already out of that contract, right? So I feel like they're trying to harken back to a character that was so well loved that it's kind of like, yeah, maybe you don't like what you've seen of him so far, but hey guys, he's still the weasel.
If I may counter with that, I think the weasel was his natural self, and when I think this wasn't very organized, and when he improv'd, the weasel was his default.
Could very well be that. That would make a lot of sense.
And when I watched it this time, it looked a little more thrown together than I remember it the first, like when I was younger watching.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
We get merch. Thriving on chaos.
I love the big heads, the little caricatures.
I kind of want one of those shirts.
I know. And that pastel yellow, too. Look at that color.
Right? It's very 1996.
Mm-hmm.
The guys have some ideas, too, for merchandising. Environmental condoms.
Action figures.
Anatomically correct action figures.
That's right, Atherton.
And their own sex line, 1-900 Squirrely Stub.
Hi, when we're not saving the environment.
We're thinking of you, naked, thigh deep in tofu. This is all from memory. I've seen this movie too many times. But then we get the just because we're stuck in a bubble doesn't mean we can't cause any trouble scene, which is just a montage of chaos. I think this movie does montage very well because there's really no substance anyway. So just hit us with a barrage of shit going on and make us laugh. Like the proposal of planting weed or purple sticky punch.
He took very good care of that plant.
It's a rapid rate of photosynthesis. Also, bungee jumping looked like a blast. I'm terrified of heights. I would do that. The fact that they touched the water scared the shit out of me, but I would definitely do that.
That was really cool.
Rose McGowan appears, telling the girls about an event at Arizona Tech. And it seems like a weird B plot that we don't really need. And immediately just cuts to the guys presenting their new punch to Mimi and Petra, who are pissed off because it means that they are the ones that ruin the crops to make the punch. Sandro, I swear to God, there's no way you did not laugh at this next bit of the montage where the guys are playing in the artificial rain generator and Bud throws his pineapple rind and it hits Romulus and takes him out.
You don't have to believe me, but I did not laugh.
Really?
Really.
That was a very Michael Richardsian kind of moment for me.
There was no force behind it whatsoever, and it still toppled him. I loved it.
It was pretty well done.
What kind of a name is Romulus?
A beautiful name for... It's better than Remus.
Exactly. No reference there for you. No. Okay.
Roman times, no?
No, nothing?
Nothing. Is this thing on?
I get you, Mark. Don't worry.
No wonder I haven't been here since episode 69.
I get you. The hide and seek scene. I love when Doyle tries to hide in the entomology lab. And like it's one of the best music like band jokes I've ever heard. Because Romulus is talking about his Lepidoptera, right? The butterflies. He's like, didn't their drummer lose an arm? Love it. I love it so much. Sandra, did you get that
was
joke?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, Def Leppard.
Perfect. You did not like that joke.
No, I did not. You got to stop asking me.
Well, I don't know why, man, because some of the shit's really fucking funny. I think you were just in a bad mood because you're sick.
No, I watched this movie completely healthy.
So the girls go to the event at the quad. Or no, not at the quad, this one. They get hit on by guys pretending to be environmentally conscious, and they invite them to an event at the quad.
That's way better than the thing that they're at.
Yes. Well, is it?
No, but they said it's way better than the thing that they're at.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to persuade them for
They
sure.
were really selling that hard.
Well, I mean, try and get involved or something. You're just sitting there. Obviously, you're not going to enjoy the event.
Exactly. The Biodome 5 have a meeting about how much of a problem the guys are, and I'm thinking, just now?
Who could have seen that coming?
Only now is this a conversation.
Shocker.
We get a reveal of the action figures, the slap fighting action figures.
Rock'em Sock'em robots, man.
Exactly. That's all it is. They surprise Romulus saying they've captured all of his bugs, but have murdered them all by catching them on giant flypaper.
Now, wait, did you? We totally glossed over what the Leopardartarius were trying to do. He's trying to get them to get porking.
Yeah.
Porking is such a 96 word.
I forgot about porking. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, like, we're talking about how dated this thing was. That was like it.
That was the important thing we missed.
No, I'm just saying it was one of the dated things. I thought Romulus. I thought the scene with Romulus was hilarious in that when they were interacting. He's like trying to talk to him about what he's trying to get him to do.
Try to get the mate or porking. It's so nasally when he says it too.
Yeah,
like
and he has like a lisp, and his like mouth is a little narrow.
So, as a result of the giant flypaper scenario and everything they've done to destroy the biodome, just having fun, they're locked in their storage closet for the night.
I'm surprised that they didn't get like reprimanded the first night when they snuck into the girls' beds.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right.
That wasn't a red flag to you guys immediately.
You know, somebody like Olivia would probably just murder them and bury them somewhere in the rainforest.
It's fertilizer.
Exactly.
That's true.
They managed to break out through the vents and find another storage room full of medicine and barrels of junk food.
One barrel.
Okay, a barrel.
They
only open one.
But the barrel has like caution signs and stickers on it.
Yeah. Also, why even have that there? That's what confused me.
They had it there so that Doyle can go to the mall to take a leak so they could get locked in the biodome so that Bud could find it with his nose later. Come on. How do you not see this?
That's pretty good. I love how he like slaps the barrel on the side. Like he's like, I got this.
He's like patting it. He's like, oh,
yeah.
It's a big winner. This is a big winner.
So
and
yeah.
To your point, Sandra, it was like a biohazard sign or something.
Yeah.
Why can't part of the plot be that one of the Biodome 5 was breaking all the rules? They smuggled in food they shouldn't have had. They're the ones that left the key in the window. And these two idiots are the ones that caught them. At least then it's like, okay, well, there's some intrigue here.
That's just ridiculous, Sandro.
I'm sorry.
What do you want, a plot?
Yes.
Get with the times. We're watching Biodome.
Get with the 1996
Not Fern
times.
Gully.
I love Fern Gully, man.
Exactly. Time for laughing gas and syringes. I think the scene is ridiculous, but absolutely hilarious. Even just like Doyle finding the syringe and like being so enamored with it and taking the cap off the end and even yelling out at Squirrely at Bud and throwing it at him. He's got the mask tied to his head. He's high as fuck. And Doyle looks at him and is like, anything? And Bud's laughing. He's like, nothing. I don't feel anything. And the syringe is directly in his heart. It's so stupid. But it looks so good on camera. Oh my God, this movie is hilarious. It's not great, Sandra. I'm not saying it's good.
It's silly, but it's fun.
It's so funny. As punishment, they're banished to the desert ecosystem. Which honestly at night should kill them. But they're so gung-ho about being in the right. They're like, well, we need the girls, you know, life continues kind of thing. Like for the experiment to continue, we need women. And they're just completely denied. And the stairs are rising up. And you just hear Bud. You don't see his mouth move. It's all ADR. They're like, girls. And as the stairs are covering the face, it's like, I can't see you. And that's it. Like, that should be a dead joke. But these jokes that should be absolutely 100% detestable are pretty funny most of the time.
That one carried for me.
Yeah, even that night where Doyle says, Bud, I don't want to have to eat you. And Bud's response is, he shimmies away. He's like, I don't want you to have to eat you either. But we get to one of my favorite parts of the movie when it comes to lines. Doyle's confession of killing Bud's turtle and letting his cat take the rap. I never found Bud's confession funny about hiding his flamenco dancing outfit in Doyle's aunt's closet, or flamingo, if you will. And her husband left her because he thought she was cheating on him, and now she's insane.
Yeah, I got the turtle one.
You did?
I got the turtle one. I didn't get the second one.
The third one, I'm going to say right now. I'm not going to repeat it later, but it is my favorite line of the movie. And that is Doyle saying, you remember the Great Fire of 1979 that supposedly started in your garage when that chipmunk ingested some fertilizer and then fell into a can of kerosene, instantly turning him into a flying little fluffy little Molotov cocktail that set ablaze the whole neighborhood west of Newton's hardware store? Bud just says, you started that fire? He's like, no. But that's pretty cool, huh? Summed up both of these characters to me in maybe 8 seconds. Loved it. Stephen Baldwin's delivery of this line, for me, was perfect. I don't think it could have been done better by anybody. Sandro, you haven't really said anything positive about this movie yet. I need one thing before we continue.
No, I did. I said it has a pretty good soundtrack.
Okay, give me something else.
Pass?
Nope. There's something that had to have made you laugh. Maybe even because you thought it was so ridiculous that it made you laugh. Not that it was good, but you're like, this is absolutely terrible.
No.
Nothing.
No.
I think the ending credits made him smile a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. The amount of times that I sighed and rolled my eyes watching this movie.
I can see it not resonating, but when it does resonate, it does resonate.
Yeah.
Subjective.
All right, we'll continue. Mimi and Patrick confront Faulkner about the boys, and he rejects their worries. So the guys catch a lizard and are about to eat it until noticing a key in the window, which I've always found to be absolutely ridiculous. They just needed a way to getting out.
Yeah. So again, why not just have it where somebody's breaking all the rules? And obviously it would be Faulkner, because before he goes insane, you could just say he's so high and mighty and about the rules because he's cutting corners.
Sandra, I normally applaud you on your rewriting of the movies that we cover and new ideas that would make the film play out smoother or better, or just in general make everything much more entertaining and enjoyable. I don't think you can do that here because I think the movie is not set up for that. I think the movie is supposed to be as ridiculous as possible. It's not really supposed to make sense. You're just supposed to be along for the ride. And for the lack of drug scene on screen, I feel like the movie is made for people who are very far from being sober. So I don't really know if we need that. Honestly, to me, it does feel like a mid-90s Cheech and Chong film. Because those movies are ridiculous and they're just meant to be funny. And I think that's what this is too. But if you go back and watch a lot of Cheech and Chong, they don't really hold up well at all. And I think it's the same case here.
I kind of leave it akin to like Dude, Where's My Car too.
Exactly. Thank you.
They're just like legitimately I thought that movie was entertaining as all get out, but it was dumb. Just absolute stupidity.
Yeah. It's
but entertaining.
A time capsule.
For sure.
But a time capsule that was already like it outdated itself within the year that it was released. But yeah, they escape and are distraught over the amount of parking tickets that Doyle has accrued. End up ordering food, and Russell is the delivery guy, and he lets them know about the event that the girls are going to. I do have to ask you both, and I think we all agree, how good would pizza be at this point?
How many months in are they?
Probably like one.
A few, right?
It's been a week.
A week. Oh, after a week, pizza would be glorious.
It would be amazing.
After a day, pizza would be glorious.
But they decide the best thing to do is throw a party in the Biodome. And now we go to the boring event at the Quad, where we get to see Tenacious D.
And Joey Lauren getting hit by a hacky sack.
Yeah.
He's like, ow. It's like out of nowhere.
This is the first time I had ever seen Jack Black. This is the first time I had ever seen Tenacious D before. And I didn't know they were actually actors and a band. I was like, these guys are just weird.
Well, that is their MO, right?
Yeah. But I don't even know, like, at what point I realized that Tenacious D was a thing. It would have had to have been years and years after I saw this movie.
It was only until the rewatch that I saw that Tenacious D was in this.
Oh, really? So
I hadn't watched it in a long time. So Tenacious D had come and gone since then.
They just want to save some trees. Why don't we save some freaking trees?
And how much hair does the Tenacious D, the second guy, have on his head? Like that
Kyle
dude.
Gass?
Yeah, he's tall. Yeah, Kyle. Yeah, it's crazy. How much, like, how young they look in that, you know?
It was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, 25 years ago, 27 years. Crazy.
It was only 27. Yeah,
96, right? Yeah, I mean, 30 years.
Yep.
Yeesh.
Party at the Biodome. News of that squashes this party very quickly. And at the Dome, there's a massive bash, complete with Hawaiian Tropic Girls, which I forgot were a thing.
Right in the front there.
Yep. Faulkner gets handcuffed around a tree. Monique and Jen show up and make the guys realize they are killing the Biodome. You think somebody else would have been able to tell them that? Maybe the scientists.
Yeah, but wasn't it fun them riding out on, like, with their headdress and everything?
Yeah.
Like on that float? That was pretty cool being carried.
Next morning, we get the reveal of the devastation. The place is trashed.
It looked really bad.
Leakey confronts the remaining scientists as Faulkner has vanished.
It looks like someone chewed through these handcuffs.
Like a rat. Did you catch Leakey's line here, Mark?
I don't know if I did.
Oh, I haven't seen such devastation since the Great Chipmunk Fire of 79.
That's right.
I love when your favorite line of a movie has a throwback line to
a callback. That's beautiful.
So Bud and Doyle try and rally the scientists to rebuild homeostasis. So Doyle swallows the key, but before he does that, Russell has to escape first. He's so good in this movie. He never gets their names right. As he's leaving, he's like, "Thank you, Bob. Nice to see you, Daryl."
Bob and Daryl.
So homeostasis just over 1% here, and time for another montage of getting the place back in shape. Using empty beer cans to create condensation, Doyle thinking he can collect cigarette butts to filter the air, but they only really need wet bed sheets, which is questionable.
But he still collected them anyway.
Try to force everyone out by playing the safety dance. It does not work. It continues the montage, complete with sharing toothbrushes.
Is that a safety dance slight? Did I hear a safety dance slight?
I love the safety dance.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Because Men Without that MTV video, we didn't have MTV in our house. I had to go to my grandparents.
Is that where you watched Totally Pauly?
I didn't watch Totally Pauly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I didn't watch that stuff. But Men Without Hats, Safety Dance, heck yeah. Because that was even pre-Pauly, I think, even on MTV.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was
like mid-'80s. Yeah.
It was, yeah, for sure.
Early mid-'80s, yeah. Awesome. Love that song.
But this lets us know that the effort to save the Biodome is turning the Biodome into a global phenomenon. And they finally start growing weed again, even though nobody does anything with it.
Well, no, they did mention that during their first presentation that it would filter air faster than other plants.
Yes. It's also a great source of fuel. They don't do that either. Massive crowds build outside the dome cheering on the boys. And one night, Faulkner raids a storage room, spray painting on the floor, "I still dream." What's he dreaming about? I don't know, because he's building bombs in tunnels.
Eating that parrot's what he's dreaming.
I am God.
No, I am God.
Eats the parrot.
No, I am God.
William Atherton is very, very good. I've already said it before.
Phenomenal.
He's so good in this movie. We got 10 hours left to restore homeostasis. Mimi and Petra come onto the boys in their storage room, and Bud stops Petra because of Monique. Doyle does not stop. Bud has to stop him. But somehow now these guys are the moral compass, which makes no fucking sense for this movie whatsoever.
Yeah. We got girls.
That might have been the smartest or dumbest thing I've ever done. They discover Faulkner in the tunnels and unknowingly help him distribute his newly fashioned coconut bombs, accidentally detonating one, to which Bud has to say, "That was no ordinary coconut."
Well, why? What do you mean? They don't just explode like that?
We're just going to fly through this because Sandra's having the worst time, and I know he's sick, and I know he just wants to go to bed.
Those coconuts are just like grenades and catch fire for no reason at all.
I know. Flaming coconuts are the worst. Unable to escape, they decide to stop the mad scientist, and we get a chase scene. And I have to say, the Bud chasing Faulkner through those trees is fucking hilarious, because they're moving at a snail's pace, and they're just trying to maneuver around branches. The whole time, Atherton is acting his ass off, and I'm having a complete blast. Until Doyle traps him with the flypaper. So they stop the detonation, and homeostasis is restored as the doors open. Faulkner launches a bomb, but everyone is safe. I don't even know why they bothered doing that. Any insight, boys?
No idea.
Visuals?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone rejoices outside. On the drive home, Doyle has to piss again, so they stop at a nearby nuclear power plant. Cut to the mad Faulkner escaping into the desert, laughing maniacally when you hear people searching for him say, "Where did he get the key?" Roll credits. Sandra, don't worry, man. The movie's over.
Oh, man.
You exhale.
I was running out of carpet power washing videos on Facebook to watch.
I could hear Sandra's wife dabbing like a wet cloth on his forehead through the last 10 minutes of that, just trying to calm him down.
She heard I was talking about Biodome and noped out of here a long time ago.
Yeah. You all suck. This movie's great. All right, let's get into numbers. Sandro, Mark, guess. How much did this movie cost?
3?
3 what? Bazooka Joe comics?
3 million? I don't know.
12.
8.5.
I was going to say 8, darn it.
However, rumor has it they spent an additional $10 million on marketing. Now, I will say I remember seeing a lot of advertising for this on the back cover of comic books, of Marvel comic books I was reading at the time. That's how I originally heard about the movie.
Nice.
Now, having said that, how much do you think it grossed?
20.
3.
3 and 20. Okay. 13.4.
All right. Right in the middle. See, that's perfect. Just take the average. Yeah.
Moving over to reviews on IMDb, what do you think? What do you think everyone gave it out of 10?
3.
4.2.
Mark, you almost nailed it. 4.4.
Oh, darn it.
Moving to Rotten Tomatoes,
It was definitely a sub-5er.
percentage of positive reviews from the critics.
That laugh tells me 19%.
0.
It's lower. It's lower.
7.
keep going.
Oh my
I said
god.
0 the first time.
Oh,
Yeah, 0 doesn't count.
4.
Mark?
No, I'll go 3.
4.
4, nice.
Audience score.
Now, this is either going to be another 4, it's going to be like something ridiculous like a 90, and you're going to question humanity. I'm going to question humanity. 87.
I'm going 23.
51.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
I'm just looking at some of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes right now. One guy says, at one point, Pauly looks into the camera and says, sometimes stupid can be pretty cool. Not this time, Pauly.
Nailed it.
It is one of those. It does have just subtle things you have to really pay attention, and you pick up more and more of them.
Oh, it's bad. It's whew. Shore co-won a Razzie Award for Worst Actor in this movie, tied with Tom Arnold from Big Bully.
Tom Arnold. Oh my god.
Yeah. Didn't do well. Although they've been touting a sequel for like the last 10 years. And I would love to see a sequel to this.
You know what? A sequel today might actually be somewhat entertaining.
I think so too. They'd have to be so self-aware.
Could you get Stephen Baldwin to do that? To actually make fun of himself, or did he get too serious?
You start the sequel with them as adults coming out of that nuclear power plant. They've been locked in there ever since.
Same.
Yeah,
like balding in the middle, but just the dreads on the side.
That would be. Oh my god, that'd be great.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
But like, look at what both of them have done afterwards. Like, Pauly is kind of getting his shit together, and he's doing stand up again. His mom, Mitzi Shore, was the owner of the Comedy Store, right?
Mm-hmm.
Until she passed, and I don't know who's running it now, but he's trying to get his shit together. Stephen Baldwin.
I was at Mitzi's bar, Rogan's place in Austin. The one that he dedicated to her. So
yeah,
cool place.
But you got Baldwin, whose daughter is now married to Justin Bieber.
Mm-hmm. And he's definitely different than that Baldwin that you know from Biodome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when did Usual Suspects come out? 95, a year before this, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
He was absolutely amazing in that movie.
He was phenomenal in that.
Exactly. I think he's just having fun in this role. But then you see him in that sequel to the Flintstones movie, and I don't know. So I think sometimes he's on, sometimes he's off. I don't think he's always in on the joke. Sometimes he does do a bad performance. I think a lot of people hate him in this movie, but I think he's absolutely hilarious. And while we're on this kind of topic, Sandra, how about we get into awards?
Yeah.
Sure thing. Mark, as our guest, we always ask if you can please lead the way. So who did you have for your least favorite character?
My least favorite character. My least favorite character. Oh my gosh. I'm blanking right now.
What movie are we talking about?
I'm like losing my mind right now. There are no least favorite characters in this movie. They're all phenomenal.
You go. There you are.
I'm done. I'm sticking with it. None.
Ben?
I don't think there are any bad characters in this movie. I really enjoy them all. So I'm gonna have to go with Olivia Biggs, played by Denise Dowse, because I think she could have contributed so much more to this movie. I think she's an amazing actor, and I wanted to see more of Olivia, like, just rip Bud and Doyle apart, because you look at the cast of the Biodome 5, and she seems to be the most intimidating, the most intelligent, and the most interesting. But they do nothing with her. She feels like a placeholder, like all of her
like a
good
mother,
character,
right?
Yeah, all of her good bits of the movie had been edited out. So why is she there? I don't know. She's not playing an integral role to anything. I'm gonna have to go with Olivia's least favorite, but the one I wanted to see the most of. Sandro?
Squirrely.
Oh, Bud, you hated Bud the most, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, talks way too much.
But he can lick his own back.
Yeah, no. I wanted to say everyone, but I was following the rules of our awards.
Okay.
Do we have to pick one?
I mean, we try to. We're not going to hold.
Because I have the other ones. It's funny because I was thinking it's the same character that, excuse me, that Ben had mentioned, because she was so serious. Sherman Tank, we're the Biodome 5. Like, she was not likable, but they didn't delve into it more. But I like the way that you explained that she was underutilized more than she was bad.
It could have been the Biodome 4. She had no bearing on this.
I think it could have been the Biodome 4, and she could have been Faulkner's character. I would have liked that a lot more. I mean, I love William Atherton, but we know he's going to be great in whatever he does. Like, he's unnecessary. Give Denise Dowse an opportunity to play the villain of the movie. Oh my God, I think she could have taken that and ran with it. So yeah, she was just underutilized.
Okay, and Mark, who did you have for your favorite character?
I had Faulkner for my favorite character. And it's like, for that, he reminds me of the Shooter McGavin of like Billy Madison.
Yep, definitely.
Just like that same exact guy, right? Who played all those characters. I forget his name, and I'm just
Christopher
not
McDonald.
Yes, thank you. He does those kinds of roles so well. That heel, that beautifully crafted depth, and you can see the crazy. Like you see it in him in his eyes right from the beginning, and you're like, that guy's going to be crazy, and then he does it, and it's like it's perfect. Thought he was really good in this.
Yeah, stellar actor. Sandro?
Same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why you're surprised by that. You predicted it earlier.
Yeah, I just didn't expect both of you to pick him. So, all right.
Who else would I have picked?
I was going to pick him, but I had to go with my absolute favorite.
Stephen Baldwin.
Baldy?
Yeah, you know it. Stubbs. Doyle Johnson. I love this character so much. I know he's an idiot. I know the whole thing is stupid, but he really does make me laugh. I think it's the childlike presence that he provides, but he also gives off that stoner character that I loved so much at that time in the mid to late 90s. And the movie, like we've already talked about, is a time capsule. So yeah, the character did stick with me. So yeah, my favorite character is Stephen Baldwin's portrayal of Doyle Stubbs Johnson.
Okay, and Mark, what did you have for your favorite or most memorable line?
Who would be stupid enough to think Biodome was a mall? Bud McIntosh and Doyle Johnson. Generation X roadkill on the superhighway of progress. Yeah, I'm prepared today, gentlemen, and just because I didn't have a least favorite character.
No, that's a good one.
You're welcome. Again.
I already said my most memorable line. I'm not going to repeat it. It's the rant about the Great Chipmunk Fire of '79.
Oh, right. I had forgotten.
You did it so well. So, I mean, how did you memorize it like that? Did you have a technique to it, or did it just come over time, or like one extra word every time?
You have no idea how many times I've seen this movie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
How about you, Sandra?
My favorite line was yes.
Was that the shortest line?
Okay, you might want to have to go into that a bit more.
Why, you want context? Okay. Faulkner says, hold it, that's Spider-Man. Black Sabbath did Iron Man. And Pauly Shore responds with, oh, come on. What, you think you're so smart? You think you're some rocket scientist? And then the way Faulkner says it. Yes.
Yes. That's true. That was good.
Then Bud's like, oh, sorry.
You texted the yes to us, Sandra. We needed to hear yes.
Yes.
The inflection.
Well, I set it up that way.
Well done.
Definitely.
Well done.
All right. And then, Mark, what did you have for your favorite or most memorable scene or moment?
I have two, and we talked about them ad nauseum. We talked about the music in this. It was the two montages. We Care a Lot and Safety Dance are two phenomenal songs.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they mix them into this, it just kept me and my attention. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
So I'll give it to them.
Yeah, the use of music in this movie is fantastic. I don't think any of us can deny that. Or maybe we can. I don't know.
I am not denying it.
Okay,
I'm affirming it.
Well, I've said twice that the soundtrack was good.
Is it my memorable scene now?
I believe so.
No, I think I go first on that one, right?
All right, go for it.
No, I'm God.
Yeah, it's good. Wearing the feathers.
Only because he's eating the bird and has the feathers on his headdress when he says it. That's how we won that argument.
And he left a lot of meat on that little bone before he tossed it behind him.
Well, it was a power move.
It was. That's what I mean. He's like, I got extra.
Yeah.
Well, I love that too, because in that scene, that means during that back and forth he had with the parrot and minimal amounts of action happening above ground, he managed to kill it, clean it, cook it, and eat it, and then have the final word.
No one said he cleaned it.
He was wearing everything, so he cleaned it.
Well, he plucked it or whatever, I would guess.
Plucked it, yeah.
That's cleaning, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Cleaning a different thing.
Well, I mean, the removing innards and everything is cleaning as well. For me, it's right after they find the barrel of junk food. The music playing at the time, Pauly Shore with the mask on his face, laughing hysterically. Stephen Baldwin blindly walking into that the cupboard, that metal storage unit, and just like stumbling backwards and trying to like redirect himself, finding the syringe, getting so excited, whipping it at Bud. It has no effect. They're laughing hysterically, and then the brilliant cut outside of the storage room to Mimi, Petra, and then I think Romulus walking up in their like Biodome 5 sleepwear, which is just like tan shit, being like, what is going on inside? I loved it because yes, it's stupid humor inside, great concern outside, so it was like control and chaos. I looked way too much into it. I read too much into it, but I love that scene so much.
Very nice.
All right, so final thoughts on Biodome, Mark?
It was fun. It was very much a time capsule. I hadn't watched it in a number of years, and it put a smile on my face. I remembered a lot of it. The music was great. There were a couple chuckles. Fun.
And you want to see a sequel?
Bio 2.
Yeah. I unabashedly love this movie. I love everything about it. I know how problematic it is, and I'm fine with it. It's 1996. We're not making this movie today. Bite your tongues. It is hilarious. Pauly Shore is great. Stephen Baldwin's great. William Atherton, Joey Adams, Teresa Hill, Rose McGowan, Denise Dowse, Kylie Minogue, Kevin West, Dara Tomanovich, Henry Gibson, Patty Hearst is in this movie. Everybody does a great job. It is fun. Taylor Negron's in it. It's a movie that you can't get away with making today, and nor should you try, because it just wouldn't work. By today's standards, this movie is trash. 1996,
trash by
watching it when you're just wrong. 14-year-old me thought this movie is amazing. 41-year-old me still thinks this movie is amazing. It's just fun. There's no substance to it. It's just ridiculousness. It's like Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken is one of the dumbest shows to have ever been made, but people enjoy it because it makes them laugh for bits and pieces of comedy. You cannot do a 22-minute concise narrative of a Robot Chicken episode because no one would care. And that's what this is. This is bits and pieces that they tried to link together. The overarching story doesn't work, but the bits and pieces thrown in are hilarious.
It reminded me of a Saturday Night Live skits all put together. It really did. Like little scenes inside.
Yes. How many SNL movies really work, though? Not many. You get those
because they actually try to go. I feel like they go long with the premise.
Exactly. Wayne's World, sure. A Night at the Roxbury was terrible.
No. Night at the Roxbury is a gem.
No, it's not.
Wow.
You're completely wrong. That is one of the worst movies ever made.
No, yeah. Says the guy who's praising Biodome as we speak.
Yeah, well, we can disagree because that movie's terrible.
When are you guys reviewing Night at the Roxbury to get back at Ben?
It's going to have to be one of Sandra's picks because
I don't do that to Ben.
Aw. Look at that. Look at that kind soul. And then during this holiday season.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the holiday season. Sandra, do you want to wrap this up?
Well, I'm
because I already know your final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything. But before I wrap it up, I say thank you, Mark, for joining us for this.
Oh, Thank you for inviting me. It was an honor. I was pleasant surprised when I saw the message.
I remembered you saying that you actually enjoyed this movie in previous conversations. So I figured I might as well bring somebody else on that can balance my negativity. Before we go, though, can you just let people know where they can find you online?
Oh, boy. So I'm at Knocked Conscious. Knock. Is that me? No, that's not even me anymore. I keep changing my stuff. So I'm my full name at Mark Sean Puls, MarkSeanPuls, Twitter, Facebook, all the stuff. So look for me. I just had a conversation with the lead singer of Wheatus. I have an upcoming conversation with the presidential libertarian candidate.
And you know what? I'll pop the link to your conversation with the singer from Wheatus into the description if anybody wants to check it out.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for inviting me. It's really fun whenever I get to do this with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming back on, man. And thank you for actually talking Biodome with me.
I love Biodome, man. It is a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, and if anybody enjoyed Mark on our show and wants to check out some of our stuff with him, we did 2 seasons of channel surfing with him covering Tulsa King and Holliston. Ben.
Yeah.
I don't know what I did to you this week, man, but hopefully I was nicer to you for next week. What are we watching?
Next week we're going more wintry, embrace December. So we're going to be talking 2022's Violent Night.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the ranger do most of the work.
This is my 4th year as a Santa. How about you?
I started the whole damn thing.
It's Christmas!
We decided that you could have one gift.
Early.
What is it?
That is a direct hotline to Santa Claus himself.
I can talk to Santa.
All right, revelers. Welcome to your worst Christmas ever.
Let's go!
You have $300 million in your personal vault. That's what I want for Christmas.
I don't want any trouble, okay? Someone's gonna scooch up that chimney.
Who is he? Because it's not your typical mall Santa.
Santa, are you there? Daddy said you were very busy tonight. My name is Trudy Lightstone. Are you gonna help us, Santa?
Yeah, Trudy.
Santa?
You're on my nice list. Santa Claus is coming to town. Time for some season's beatings.
Who the hell are you?
Boss, what if he really is the real?
No such thing as Santa.
These bad men, they're all on my naughty list. Naughty. That's naughty!
And what do you do to the naughty ones?
I give them a lump of coal.
Where is it?
I gotta watch.
I believe in you, Santa.
Come on. Which one of you did that? Prancer? So unprofessional.
Until next time, have a good one.
All the best.
Take care.